Welcome to the FL Community Podcast, created for the community by the community, where we discuss living with follicular lymphoma with a particular focus on thriving beyond diagnosis both physically and mentally. The following podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. Please speak with your doctor before making any health decisions.
Welcome everyone to episode 6 of the FL Community Podcast. I'm very excited today to introduce our lovely guest. I'm going to hand that over to Paul to introduce Charlotte today.
Thank you, Nikki. So yes, we are really delighted to be joined by Charlotte Cox. Charlotte, I think we met a long time ago at the founding of the FLF, and I've not seen you since in person, but I've followed your story on Facebook since then, and just watching with obviously interest and deep admiration of all you've been through. It's been really inspiring to witness how you've gone through everything you have with such grace and determination and resilience, especially at such a young age. You're a baby, if I can say. And even more extraordinary is how you've managed to turn that into something so extraordinary in the founding of Lymphoma Out Loud and the campaigns that have come from that, which are helping so many people. So we're so happy you've joined us today as our second special guest. Welcome, Charlotte.
Thank you. What a lovely intro. What a nice word. Really excited to join the podcast today. What you guys are doing is brilliant. We met so long ago at the founding event. Epic.
It was
all of us were there, I think.
Yeah.
I think all 4 of us were there. It was the launch of the Follicular Lymphoma Foundation, and we had a nice little gathering, didn't we?
We did.
I think we might be able to find a photo somewhere too.
Our white and purple jumpers, and then seeing the video in Piccadilly Circus was phenomenal.
Right.
Yes. Have you guys still got your jumpers?
Yeah.
I got a purple one.
Got a white one.
I didn't get a jumper. Sad.
Oh, didn't you, Paul? You should have got a jumper. You must have left early.
I think I probably did. I'm always running off somewhere.
Well, look, Charlotte, did you want to start off with your initial diagnosis story, and then we can carry on from there?
Yeah, of course. So this will be 10 years since I was diagnosed. So I was diagnosed in 2015. And my diagnosis came off maybe 2-3 years of going to the doctor, going to A&E, of having symptoms of abdominal swelling, pain, horrific fatigue that I just couldn't manage. But I was told I was too young for anything serious to be wrong. You've got IBS, and that's as far as they would go. So I just felt I couldn't keep going to the doctors. I felt like I wasn't being heard. So I stopped going. And in those sort of months, my symptoms progressed to the point where I could barely stand. My stomach was getting bigger and bigger. And then my sister was like, enough's enough. I'm taking you to my local village GP. And it was in that surgery that I told him I could feel something physically growing in my stomach. And it was weird. I would be able to feel like a pulsing sensation. And I just knew something in me wasn't right. And those were the words I used. I can feel something growing inside of me. He listened. He sent me for an ultrasound. And then things moved very, very quickly. I was sent to, I had an appointment to see a hematologist. Absolutely no idea what one of those were, but I was seeing one. And luckily, my sister came with me to that appointment. And one thing I do remember about the appointment was the consultant looking at his screen and said, "Oh, we found this mass." And I remember him scrolling for a long period of time to zoom out of the picture where the tumour in my stomach was, I think, 15 centimetres. So that was and it was compressing my spine. So that was the reason I couldn't stand. He also felt something on my neck, a very visible lump, but I just assumed it was a muscle. I'd been going to the gym. I thought, wow, look at this new muscle I've got on my neck. I I think I walked out of the appointment, left my sister in there to hear about the next steps because I was just so overwhelmed. Being told I had a big mass. At this point, we didn't know what it was. He said, if it's lymphoma, I can treat it. I had no idea what lymphoma was. It was just a whirlwind. Like that appointment, I remember it in detail, but it was just so overwhelming. And I'm very grateful I had my sister there to sort of pick up the pieces. And we walked out and she said, right, we're going to handle this. And we did. And then I think, like everyone, I went straight to Google after my appointment, Googled the word lymphoma. I'd never heard of it before. Found out it's the most common cancer in teens and young people. I thought, if it's the most common cancer, why have I never heard of it? I thought it was just crazy. And I realised that this was a swollen lymph node that had been growing that I just ignored because I'd never heard of this type of cancer. I would never been taught about the signs and symptoms. And I was quite cross. That I wasn't. And that kick-started Lymphoma Out Loud. I wanted to set something. I wanted to have, in this whole situation, sort of a positive purpose. And I didn't want someone else to go through what I'd gone through. I didn't want anyone to be blindsided like I was. I wanted to give other people the tools to make themselves body aware. I want them to be aware of lymphoma, the most common cancer in young people. I want them to know the symptoms. I want them to get checking their lymph nodes. So that's my diagnosis and sort of feeding into LOL, which I'm sure we'll pick up in a bigger conversation, I hope.
Indeed. Wow. It's such a story. How old were you, Charlotte, when this started?
26.
Wow, so young.
Yeah. A good few years before that I'd had it. He said it'd been going for the same amount of time. He'd been going to the doctor, been going to A&E over there, but it was just missed because I was so young, I think, and because those were quite vague. But I also feel like if I had the tools to know these symptoms could be related to lymphoma, I think I would have been a bit more confident with questioning the GP or pushing for answers. But because I didn't have these tools or wasn't aware, I just sort of, I let it go.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. And I bet you've just shone a light on it for so many people, particularly, in their 20s and that age group. And you potentially saved so many lives already. So you should be very proud of that. It's very inspiring.
Thank you.
Now, did you go straight into treatment?
So I had fertility treatment. My consultant, I was like, get me into chemo, get me into treatment. I want this gone. Because it was bulky disease, it was stage 4, it was bone marrow. I knew it was so far advanced, but because I kept hearing stage 4, in my head I was like, we have to start something now. But my consultant, it can wait. You need to think about your long-term situation. I want you to be able to have fertility treatment in case anything happens where you can't. So luckily I listened and I went through fertility treatment, and I'm very grateful for him to convince me to go down that route. And then once that was done, I started bendamustine and rituximab, which was intense. I think because I had bulky disease, I was admitted straight after from where the tumor was breaking down. It was causing severe
lysis. Was that lysis syndrome?
So I was in hospital for about a week while they managed that. And then went through 6 months of bendamustine and then the rituximab for 2 years after that as a maintenance. And it worked. I responded really, really well to that treatment, and went into remission. So.
Wow. So you had did you say 15 centimeter mass in your abdomen? That was the one pressing on your spine, right? And that completely disappeared from that treatment.
Yeah. That's incredible. After the first one, this went down. After the first round, it was pretty impressive. It was good. It was nice to be able to see like the change. And that really sort of kept me.
Yeah, I was lucky with that too. Yeah, it's good to
Same.
feel the lumps go down. You're like, it's something's happening, it's working. It's very encouraging.
I had
Yeah.
the same experience because I also had them on my neck and in my kind of groin area, and there was a 10 centimeter one in my abdomen. And after the first one, the same actually, all these kind of melted away, and it really motivates you, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting your story of diagnosis, Charlotte, because mine's not as dramatic as yours, and I was 10 years older, but I kept going to the doctor for a couple of years, and they thought I had an underactive thyroid. So I was on medication for thyroid for low
Wow.
thyroid for a year, and then finally they picked it up.
Mm.
So if I'd have seen all the amazing stuff that you're doing now, I would have gone, oh God, there's this thing that I barely knew what it was, like lymphoma. What is it? What even is that? So yeah, again, the amazing work that you're doing, saving lives, helping people to become diagnosed earlier, be aware of their bodies and the changes that are happening. Incredible.
Yeah, and I think it must have been hard to go to the doctor and keep sort of telling him your symptoms, and he's saying you're too young to have cancer, and then get the diagnosis and find out it's actually the most common cancer in young people. And that must have been really frustrating to find out.
It was, and I think I've gone two ways. I could have gone a path of being very angry, and confronting all the doctors and the health professionals that I spoke to over those period of years, or I went the other way. I found it into sort of a positive way, setting up LOL, and I do think that really helped me mentally cope with living with a cancer, which I don't think I'm still coping with now, but living with cancer, and also sort of dealing with the treatment and the side effects that it will bring. So
gave you something to focus on, I bet.
Needed that.
Yeah.
Well, I think about
horrible thing.
Yes, I'm just thinking about the crossover between you and Nikki, really, and what you created out of this. Nikki with the amazing Facebook group and all of those people around the world, and Charlotte with Lymphoma Out Loud. You're two female trailblazers, in this community. Just wanted to recognize that.
I like the words that you said earlier, Charlotte, a positive purpose. And it is. It's what it's great to find something positive out of something absolutely terrible, because it gives you that drive and that purpose, to keep going and I'm sure you all like me. Well, I just want to help people. That's all I want to do. I'm so passionate about it, and you guys all are as well. And it's something that we all have in common, and I just feel so lucky that we can do that. So, yeah. Can you tell us a bit more, Charlotte, about when you started Lymphoma Out Loud? How long was it after your initial diagnosis?
Instantly, I think.
Wow.
Really, straight away. Good on you. Wow.
Because I was so frustrated. I think, I was, like I said earlier, I was so blindsided by my diagnosis. And it was also seeing my family going through it, seeing my sister having to sort of carry me through treatment whilst looking after her family. I didn't want another family to go through that.
And it's just grown so much over the years. So it'll be 10 years since you started, is that right?
So we're 10 years since I started, 7 years of being a registered charity, and we were officially registered on World Lymphoma Awareness Day.
Amazing.
Mega.
That's fantastic. And I believe you've recently had a campaign running in the last month. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so Lymphoma Out Loud, as a charity, our purpose is to educate and raise awareness. So we will educate by going into community groups, businesses, universities. We will use our ambassadors to tell their lymphoma story and talk about the signs and symptoms, and sort of a Q&A for people as well. So it's like a free workshop that we do. Anyone can apply for one. It can be virtual or in person. We also send out Be Body Brave packs. This contains symptom reminder cards, leaflets, badges, stickers, lots of things that say the word lymphoma on and speak to people about the signs and symptoms. And then the awareness side, we do big campaigns and we try and get into people's faces as much as we can. And I think we're doing that on an epic scale this month because we're running a campaign with JCDecaux, who are the biggest outdoor advertising agency. And these are your street furniture, so your bus stop signs, your big billboards on the roads, TfL. We are displaying posters or digital artwork across the UK, and this week alone 2.5 million people will see one of our signs, will see the word lymphoma, will hopefully be directed to our website where they can learn about the signs and symptoms. They can check out our Know Your Nodes tool, which is a new thing we've created to teach people how to check your lymph nodes, which is the most common symptom of lymphoma. And I think it is something that everybody needs to learn where your lymph nodes are, how to check them, and make it part of sort of your normal body checking routine. So I'm so proud of what the charity has achieved this month.
2.5 million people, just to go back to that's just incredible reach.
Just this week.
Just this week.
We're running the whole of Blood Cancer Awareness Month. So the whole of September, we are right across the UK. Our posters are very loud. They're very cheeky.
Colourful.
Very bold. We just want to be in people's faces. We want people to stop and talk about lymphoma. The word lymphoma needs to come up people's mouths because it's not spoken about enough. And hopefully this campaign will start these sort of conversations.
It was so amazing to see your posts on it and all the different bus stops and very, huge billboards and everywhere. Just incredible.
I did.
That's really exciting.
On the first day it came out, saw it in Tottenham Court Road, obviously cried.
Yes.
And Charlotte, what's the website address?
So it's lymphomaoutloud.org.
Easy.
All right, that's easy to remember. Lymphomaoutloud.org. All right.
Charlotte, I was going to ask you about this stat, which I've heard increasingly. I think I heard it through you, first of all, through Lymphoma Out Loud, but this is the fastest growing cancer in young people. Lymphoma is. When did that come about? When was that a known kind of fact? Was it around the time you were diagnosed? Was it known before that? Or why are doctors so clueless? Or some of them seem to be so clueless?
I don't have the answers. It's as soon as I was diagnosed, the most common cancer. It has been the most common cancer in young people. I don't know why it's so hard to diagnose with young people. I think there's a lot of work to do in terms of education on both the medical side, also instilling the confidence in young people to recognize changes in their body.
Right. And not defer to the authority of doctors every time, to know when there's something happening, as you clearly knew, as I knew. I think all of us knew before we got diagnosed.
That's it. No one knows your body like you do. So, if they dismiss you, go get a second opinion. Absolutely. It's so important.
I wonder if the research is not filtered down yet to I guess, doctors that were trained a couple of decades ago or a decade ago. I don't know.
I
think doctors are obviously general practitioners. They don't have the need to be sending people down a particular route to get tested. And luckily I was sent for a scan which showed the massive lymph node. And I was, but it's a difficult one. There's a lot of it needed. One of the slogans for Lymphoma Out Loud is Be Body Brave. We want to empower people to get to know the symptoms. We want to educate about lymphoma and empower them to seek help if they notice changes in their body. They know something's not right. And if they're not happy, go for a second opinion. Like you said,
Absolutely.
you know your body
Yeah.
best. Like, you know when something's not right, and you just have to follow your gut with that. I knew something was growing inside. It was just, how do I articulate that?
One of, well, I was going to ask you, Charlotte, for our listeners, what are those symptoms that often get missed? What are you telling people in Be Body Brave?
Yeah, so the most common symptom is swollen lymph nodes. Obviously, I had the big one on my neck, and I have a fair few now. We'll talk about that in a minute, I'm sure. Yeah, so Lymphoma Out Loud, I mentioned earlier, we've got the Know Your Nodes tool. It's online checking tool which teaches you where your lymph nodes are, starting from your head down to your groin. It teaches you how to check, when to check. We would encourage people to check every month, just so you know what is your level of normal. So if you've got swelling, and it does continue over sort of a period of a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, then we would encourage you to go and seek sort of medical opinion. I had fatigue on my first sort of diagnosis, but I didn't have any of the B symptoms, which are night sweats, weight loss. Maybe I did actually, but I assumed the weight loss came with
the gym.
I was running marathons.
Right.
So you just assume it comes to it goes with every other part of your life. You just don't weight loss is related to a cancer.
Yes.
And then obviously itching as well. I had itching on my lower legs and feet. But again, it was summer. It's hot.
Yeah, that's right. You sort of tend to put them down to something else, don't you? But yeah, it's important, especially if they're all collective. I also think it's also interesting to point out that the lumps, when we do feel them, they're not like normal, like if you've got a virus, when your glands tend to come up. When you've got a virus, they tend to sort of be a bit sore, don't they? But these lumps, when they're related to lymphoma, they tend to be more sort of movable and rubbery, sort of when you move them around, and they're completely painless. So I think the difference between the lumps, I think, is important to note for people to know, like, because, if you've got a lump up and it's a bit painful, I'm be saying that's actually a pretty good thing. If it's painless and it moves, that's when we need to get it checked.
I was going to say, before I had my diagnosis, all I knew about lymph nodes was there's a few around here somewhere that sometimes come up when I'm sick. And I didn't know they were throughout the body. Didn't even know what they were for, So again, this education is vital, because it's a vital system within our bodies that now we've become experts on, unfortunately, and very usefully.
When I got diagnosed and they said it's follicular, I was like, is that something with my hair? Like the follicle? Like, I was like, I've never heard of this before in my life. And
I'd never heard of lymphoma either. Yeah. No. I was Googling and I didn't realize it was actually cancer. So we know a lot more about it now though, don't we?
Unfortunately,
And I think when you're younger, you don't ever go to that place. It could be cancer, because it's always like you're too young for that, and so you do just, like, your life gets in the way, doesn't it? And you just put it down to other things, and it's, you do need to be checking, you do need to be on the ball and go to your doctor if you've got any symptoms. So
it's like men checking kind of for testicular cancer, for women checking their breasts. I mean, it needs to be part of that, because that is in society, if you like. We've kind of internalized that to a degree. But I imagine you were looking at that, Charlotte, setting up Lymphoma Out Loud and seeing that wasn't anywhere near the level.
Exactly. We want to normalize checking your lymph nodes as someone would do, and they're checking their breasts, checking testicles. It needs to be normalized in that way, and everyday routine. So get to know your nodes, everyone.
Right. That might be the title of the episode. To be confirmed.
Get to know your nodes. I love that.
So you brought us up to the point that you were in remission after bendamustine and rituximab, and then maintenance, Charlotte. I know your story doesn't finish there. What happened next?
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't. I went for a good few years in remission, sort of got back to sort of normal life, moved to London, was having a great time, was in a wonderful relationship, traveling, like doing everything a normal person my age would be doing. Cancer was right at the back of my mind. And then we'd gone through COVID, survived COVID. I managed to get it only 5 times.
Wow.
Gosh.
I think that's living in London for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after COVID, I sort of I didn't lose my smell changed. So perfumes would be revolting. I couldn't smell, my change of smell changed for different things. Assumed it was some degree related to COVID. But actually I wasn't convinced. I knew it was a bit weird. I knew something in my nose or my face area was just a bit off. A couple of months after that, I mean, I flagged it to my consultant, who wasn't concerned. It was a bit of a weird symptom. A couple of months after that, I'd found a lump on my neck, like upper, and I'd never had anything there before. So on my original diagnosis on the collarbone, so I'd never had. Went to my GP, who did an ultrasound, and in that ultrasound, they practically told me it is lymphoma because of how the changing color of the lymph node, because it was black, because of the size of it. So I knew then I had relapsed, but had to go through to my consultant, where we went for a biopsy, and it was later confirmed that I had relapsed. The PET scan confirmed it was throughout my neck. I had a little one in my abdomen, but it was also behind my nose, so nasopharynx, my nose, upper throat, tongue base. But because it was not widespread as before, because my symptoms were manageable, we went through a watch and wait phase, which was mind-blowing for me. Still struggle with watch and wait. Just from a mental point of view, I struggled with knowing that it's there. I know, like, feeling so we went through watch and wait, but it kept getting worse. My symptoms were just developing a bit more. It was at that time I moved my consultant from Kent to London, so I am now under King's College in London, which is I mean, I love my consultant back in Kent, but I'm living in London, so it made sense to consultant. And also the access to different drugs in London is just so yeah, grateful for where I am now. So my consultant there, because of my symptoms were progressing, suggested we sort of do some palliative, so symptom management. So I went through radiotherapy to my neck and my sort of face. I struggled with the radiotherapy, the mask. It was just a lot. It was very suffocating.
That's the picture, Charlotte, just sorry to jump in, that I remember that you posted, that I was so just in admiration of you, and just, really felt for you. That picture of you in the machine with the mask on, it looked so uncomfortable.
They clip you to a table, so it's a table and you're clipped in. Yeah. Using the man in eye mask, I felt. So that was, I found that really tough. And I also went to where they make your mask. I did my mascara, and they obviously stick it to your face. So when they took it off, there's an imprint of my mascara in that.
Yes.
So I managed that treatment. We celebrated by going on a holiday. And then it was on that holiday that another lymph node came up. So the lymphoma obviously was a bit pissed off that I'd done radiotherapy. So sorry.
You can swear.
Yeah.
So the radiotherapy was meant to reduce the lymph node size, but it made it worse. So my consultant, based upon that, she was like, right, we need to put you into another form of treatment straight away. So we went on to R-squared, which is lenalidomide and rituximab. This treatment was meant to go on for a year, but I only managed 4 months because I couldn't cope with the side effects. It was taking such a toll on my body. I was hospitalized on Christmas Day, where I was just becoming so ill. I was coughing up blood. I was really, really unwell. And she said, it's taking too much of a toll. It's causing more problems than good. We're going to stop you after 4 months. Hopefully it's done something. And luckily it had. I responded really well in that 4 months. Went into remission. And then life went on for another year, until the symptoms started again, in my smell change, pressure in my face, more lymph nodes again in my neck. I find it really hard to talk for long periods, and I've relapsed again. I found out in May this year that it's come back in the same place that it was before, which is really frustrating. I mean, I knew it would come back because I knew it'd come back quickly because I didn't obviously go through the amount of treatment that I should have done. But it's still so frustrating to know that it's back. I'm back in a place I talk every day as part of my job. So it's really frustrating that I've got it in my face again. But I'm back on watch and wait. Because it is just in my neck and in my nasopharynx, that we're not doing treatment. And treatment depends on me entirely. It depends on whether I can manage the symptoms, and how I'm feeling, essentially. The next catch up is in October with my consultant, and I guess we'll decide the next steps then. Yeah. But it's becoming harder to manage, and I think that's the thing I struggle with watch and wait. That I'm going through it being ill. It's not. I'm not okay. I'm not on watch and wait, and I'm feeling I'm unwell. So I don't. For me, I struggle with waiting to have treatment whilst being ill all the time. I'd much rather have my treatment, go through 2 years of being well,
and live again.
Live again. I'm living half a life here because I'm not feeling myself. I wake up in the morning and I am coughing up some blood. I'm coughing up bits where I just get so full in my face, and I'm just living sort of half of me right now, and I want to have all of me.
So sorry to hear that, Charlotte.
Just wondering, what does it feel like? Are you feeling pressure in your face constantly, are you? Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of pressure, a lot of swelling. I get very congested. And then with my neck, I feel them pop up every bunch of grapes arrive. So it's really frustrating. And because I know, and obviously I know where my lymph nodes are, so I'm checking all the time. Another one.
You do, don't you?
There are signs that aren't causing problems just yet, but annoying nonetheless.
Yeah. So how often do you go back to see a consultant? How often do they check you over?
3 months. So I'm
3 months.
Months, but she says if you want to see me earlier, if you have any concerns, we'll get you an appointment. I'm very lucky with the consultants that I have. They're always, I don't have to wait a long time before I see them. They're always really receptive to how I'm feeling. Obviously, I'm really informed about lymphoma. I'm informed about the treatment, so I can have a really good conversation with them and sort of lead where I go and sort of in terms of treatment, because she did put on the table radiotherapy again, but I said no, I don't.
Been there, done that.
Next.
Is that a thing that, I mean, clearly it's a thing, but I hadn't heard it before, that the cancer can react to radiotherapy in a negative way?
Yeah, I'd not heard of that.
Yeah, see, I'd not heard of that. But yeah, like what we were saying in previous episodes, everybody's body's different. So
Sure.
everybody's going to react differently to certain things. So and that's another way that you know your body now. That you know that's not the road your body likes to go down. So yeah. So have you thought about what sort of treatments do you think are going to be on the table for you in the future?
So she wants me to last a little bit longer so we can get like bispecific
Oh yes,
party
good.
But I was hoping to go on it last time, but because I hadn't relapsed enough, I hadn't ticked enough boxes as I could. But so I couldn't have that treatment. She didn't really want me to go on R-squared, but I think that was the best of the bunch at that moment. But yeah, she's definitely keen to go down the bispecific route. Was mentioned as well, but I think that's one. It's going to be sort of down a long way down the line, I think. But that's the great thing. There's so many drugs that are popping up now. But it's time. It's like waiting for them to come. And I don't want to put my body through all this stress that I'm going through now just to wait for this shiny new drug that may come or it may not.
As a therapist, it's a question I ask, guests or myself and all of us really. How do you deal with the kind of psychological impact of FL? Because obviously we talk a lot about the physical side, the symptoms, treatments, but the mental health stuff can often be sidelined.
I try and put it to the back of my mind. I would try and pretend cancer doesn't. I don't think it's a very healthy way to do it, but
if it works,
forget about it for a bit of time. But that will stop if I find a new symptom. Then everything comes back, and everyone's blazing. I think I'm going through a period of heightened stress, which is a healthy thing. I think it is making my symptoms worse. But I try and sort of I play football. I do things that I can control. So I make ginger shots every morning. It's letting go of the things I can't control, and adding bits into my life that I can. So whether it be a shot in the morning, or ginger,
or
whatever works. But that's great. Ginger shot's great, even if you put some garlic in it as well. Although I remember I did that once. I did straight ginger and straight garlic, and I got my parents together and I said, right, we're all going to do this, and we all shot it at the same time, and then we all just started we couldn't handle it. I don't know, how do you handle it, Charlotte? What do you put in your ginger shot? Because we all ran to the bathroom and had to throw it all up. Sorry for the graphics. What do you put in your ginger shot?
So ginger, turmeric, orange, a lot of lemon, cayenne pepper.
Love it. Yeah.
The orange make it go down better by the sounds of it.
Might need to get your recipe.
And what kind of support do you have around you, Charlotte?
My partner is phenomenal. She is just my rock and my constant. Is there for every appointment, holding my hand through tests, through chemo, through watch and wait. And it's not just me going through it. It's her. She's living too. But I'm the one that's getting the support from my consultant or my nurse, and that's sort of she's left alone to, I guess, to pick up the pieces. And it is really, really difficult. But yeah, she's incredible. I'm very, very lucky to have that support at home. Because I don't know what I'd do if I didn't. I'd be completely lost. So I'm very lucky to, at the start of my diagnosis, to have my sister to feed me raw garlic, to grind wheatgrass into shots. We went down that route, and now I'm very lucky to have my partner Francesca through this. And we got together while I was having chemo, so we met while I was really, really sick, and she's had to my whole relationship, our whole relationship, I've obviously had lymphoma, so it's thing to take on. It's a big thing.
That's the other overriding image I've got from your posts and following your story, is just that love story that has happened during this period, and just how inspiring that is. It makes me really emotional when I've seen it. Makes me think of my husband as well, and how lucky we are. But I'm so pleased that you have each other.
Well, Paul, you met your husband after your diagnosis as well, didn't you? I think both of you are very inspiring for those single people, particularly newly diagnosed. That you can still find love. Don't close yourself away. Put yourself out there. There are people out there.
100%. I think I found love because of my diagnosis. If I'm honest, I was closed off. I was having terrible experiences, and it changed something in me. And I think I became open to it. And this amazing person walked in, didn't blink an eyelid, and was like, all right, let's go. Whatever this is, And is, we're now living in Spain together. We've traveled around.
Oh, that's lovely. I love hearing love stories like that.
Yes, but it's an important topic because there are, we're very lucky if we have someone or if we meet somebody, but many people go through this alone. And we did touch about this on the previous episode, in the mental health episode, but it can put a strain on relationships if you happen to not be lucky in terms of the family around you, or being single, which some people really enjoy, and that's great. But it can significantly impact your treatment, your general mental health. So if you don't have a partner, that's okay. There is the possibility. Charlotte and I are proof of that. At whatever stage in life and treatment and diagnosis. But we really need to rely on those people in our life, even if it's, through the podcasts and the Lymphoma Out Loud and that community, and Nikki, your community, our community, living with follicular lymphoma.
That's
definitely. I'd be interested to hear, Charlotte, were you ever offered any help at the hospital, like mental health therapy or advice?
I attended a Macmillan groups, but I struggled with that. I'm not a very good person at sort of seeking support or verbalizing how I feel. But I was also directed to a cancer counsellor, and I'd had calls with her, I think every fortnight. She was amazing. And I was so grateful that I had been given that support. To receive any sort of emotional and mental health support during treatment, after treatment. So I felt very lucky to have that available to me. I think that's because I know what to expect now from my cancer care, that I know that I have access to these things. So I guess it's just being informed with what's available in your area, your local hospital, what local charities are near you. Going back to Macmillan, I was having their reflexology, puncture, Reiki.
Reiki is amazing.
So I was having all of these alternative treatments, and it was wonderful. It really helped me cope with my treatments.
That's an important message, because talk therapy, for example, is not going to be for everybody, and it may be something that's more body based or less kind of asking you to constantly talk about your feelings. Maybe you're doing that with your partner or other people. There's a whole litany of things that we can do, right, that include therapies of all types, as well as diet and exercise and marathons. Charlotte,
I'm not up to marathon speed. I did a half marathon, but I don't think.
When did you do this?
I did the Hackney half in May this year, and
oh my gosh,
I didn't realise at the time I'd relapsed.
Oh,
Finding it really hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But I did it, and I was
incredible.
Amazing achievement. Well done.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Same.
Yeah. Wow. That's really brilliant.
We like to ask people, guests, I mean, you're our second guest, but it's going to be a running thing. If you could give like a mental health tip and a nutrition tip, I think generally that you've learned, that you've come across yourself that you think's helped, what would they be?
I think living with follicular lymphoma, I think you just got to give yourself grace. Control what you can, let go of what you can't. Just be gentle with yourself. A nutrition tip, probably not the best person to ask for this. Ginger shots.
That sounds great. Was that the one you were going to say?
What, the ginger shot?
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Ginger shot a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something like fish and chips every day, or I don't know.
Piece for dinner.
No,
why not?
That's great. It's
High
very
protein.
great for the immune system, very anti-inflammatory. Love it. Good.
Oh, we're talking about the ginger shot again. Sorry.
Sorry.
We're talking about McDonald's. I think for nutrition, I think everything in moderation. I think when I was first diagnosed, obviously completely new to lymphoma, completely new to cancer, I went very strict on myself. I went on an alkaline diet. Was churning wheatgrass every day into shots. I was eating raw garlic, no sugar, no dairy, and it was good because I had this control element of control.
Yeah.
So what I'm putting in my body, I know it's all good stuff, and it was great, and I wanted to put this into my diet now, but I think I am putting elements in, but it's just having. For me, it's just having a bit of moderation.
Yeah, not the extremes, which we can all go to. I think we've talked about in the past, right? How we all kind of went organic or no sugar, and then we learned eat healthily, often under Nikki's guidance, enjoy things that might not be the most healthy. But what would you say, Nikki, in terms of, the best diet?
Well, yeah, it's hard not to jump into that. I mean, I did it as well. I did the alkaline diet, and I was vegan for 2 years. But then when I started uni, and I realized how deficient I was in so many different things. So I think the key is first to identify any deficiencies that you've got and try and stick to a low inflammation, like an anti-inflammatory type diet is really a good thing to start with. But yeah, I agree. Everything in moderation. I'm big on not depriving yourself of those things that you love. If you love a piece of chocolate, give yourself a piece of chocolate. And also, if you are feeling guilty about it, then counteract it with something really good for you. So, I think it's a stress relief. My piece of chocolate or that glass of wine, that's a stress relief, and I think that's really good for you as well. But yeah, always try and counteract it with something extra good alongside of it as well. I
think I'm really keen to learn a lot more about nutrition, like you said, low inflammation foods. I would love to know what things I should be putting in my body, and it's like having those recipes, having those food groups. Really, really interesting to hear about for sure.
Well, we have an episode on nutrition, I think episode 3, was it? Which you can look back. There's lots of interesting stuff there from Nikki, and you've got a newsletter as well, Nikki, right? Sorry, I put that on you.
I've got a blog. A blog on the FLF website, so the flf.org. You can find that blog. And episode 3, we spoke about managing treatment side effects. So that was a very nutrition heavy one, but we will be doing more nutrition based episodes in the future as well. So, and if anyone has any ideas on the direction of those episodes, please email us at the FL Community Podcast at gmail.com, or comment in the group under the podcast posts, because we'd love to know what direction, what do you want to know? So, but yeah, we absolutely will be doing some more nutrition based podcasts in the future.
It's one of our main kind of focus because of Nikki's expertise and mental health because of mine. So yes, to be continued. I mean, we could just keep chatting for ages, I think, but I think we might need to think about winding down, just because I know your voice needs to rest a little bit, Charlotte. How are you feeling? Is it kind of difficult?
I mean, it's getting there. But I love it. I could speak so much about different things. So yeah, it's been really great, really.
Is there anything you've not said that feels kind of important? We'll have you on again, I'm sure, in the future. But anything that comes up that you've not spoken about?
I don't think so. I think we've covered a lot. Do you think so? There's nothing that we're missing. We've gone through all the classes. Yeah, we've covered it all.
I've heard your story.
I went on You, Me, and the Big C. So I called in as to speak to Deborah James, and I was in I think Singapore. I was trying to board a flight, but I was on the phone to the podcast. It was very good. I don't know why.
Oh, cool.
So we can find that, can we? The Big C podcast. There's an episode with you.
I've heard of that podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, look that up and maybe kind of boost it and share the community. Sounds important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because weren't you also on? You had something with This Morning. Is it someone you know?
So with Lymphoma Out Loud, I was launching the Know Your Nodes tool.
Yeah.
Like hitting up Instagram, trying to see who could support the charity, help amplify sort of this amazing tool that we've created. And I did some research, and Lee Brennan, the lead singer from the 90s boy band 911, had gone to lymphoma twice as a child and a teenager. So I dropped him a message on Instagram. I said, "Hey Lee, do you want to give lymphoma the big up yours?" He was like, "Absolutely." He's like, "What do you want to do?" And I just said, we'd love for you to share this tool that we've created, help raise awareness of what we're doing. He sent some emails to some people he knew, and we managed to get on this morning, ITV This Morning sofa. He went on with Kat Deely and Ben Shepherd, shared his story, what it was like as a young person being told he had lymphoma not once but twice, the side effects he's experienced, and then he also mentioned Lymphoma Out Loud. So we got a shout out on ITV This Morning. Across the screen it said Know Your Nodes. So I was backstage just in what Lee.
What bigger platform could you have got? Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, it was just phenomenal. And then Lee is just an incredible guy. Pastor Lymphoma Out Loud. Very proud to have him support the organisation. He's very passionate about what we do because he's very passionate about raising awareness of lymphoma. It's important to him, obviously. So we've got lots planned with him for 2026. He's just launched that he's returning to touring with 911, which is very exciting for them. Yeah, and it was just a phenomenal platform to be on.
Yeah.
Have Know Your Nodes written across the screen. TV was just amazing. And I was backstage just like so overwhelmed, so proud. Didn't think anything could top it. And it hasn't. The billboard we're running now is just phenomenal, just as that is phenomenal. The more people that hear the word lymphoma, that's all I want. If one person can get an earlier diagnosis, or if one person feels this lump and knows that it's a lymph node, and they know that because they have been taught about the signs and symptoms, that's job done. That's
absolutely.
Yeah. And your recent billboard campaign is the next level from that. I mean, that's going to be a lot more than, I think, one person being diagnosed earlier. Yeah, incredible. Okay, so we're almost at the end, I think, of this podcast with our special guest, Charlotte Cox. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for joining us. It's been a pleasure hearing more from your story, over the last several years, what you've been through, what you continue to fight very valiantly, and the amazing work that you're doing with Lymphoma Out Loud, and this incredible campaign that is all everywhere.
Do you think they'll still be up in November? Because I'll be there. I want to have a photo next to one.
September, I'm afraid, just for lymphoma, just for blood cancer.
Just September.
Go to shop.
We might have to bring it over to Australia and next stop. We'll talk
Yeah.
about it.
I can see it.
International.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Charlotte, for coming
Yeah.
on, and congratulations on an absolutely incredible campaign. It's just very inspiring. I've just loved seeing it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Charlotte. You're so inspiring.
All the best for your future treatments,
Yeah.
and your health will be following. Okay, so as we've said, any feedback, any ideas for future episodes, please send your emails to the FL Community Podcast at gmail.com. Please do like and subscribe. We keep growing our audience every week. We're really kind of loving the subscribers and the kind of viewing figures going up each time we drop a new episode. And we'd love to have more special guests like Charlotte in the future. So if you're interested, get in touch.
Yeah.
And I think we have a motto, our usual motto to finish, which we're kind of practiced by now. Charlotte can tell us if we should keep it.
Yeah, we're still not sure about that, but if you've got any better ideas. All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
And remember, here at the FL Community Podcast, our motto is
From surviving to thriving.
One story at a time. Bye.
Bye.